Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, you're very welcome. On today's video, I'm going to be sharing some very juicy and interesting details, guys. I'm going to be talking about something that is rarely spoken about. I'm going to be talking about the personal health of a lady, personal hygiene of a lady. And the guys left the group chat. So this video basically is for ladies. Guys can watch it too. I feel like everyone needs to be educated on personal health, though for this particular video, just putting it out there, it's basically for the ladies. So if you know you are below the age of 18, you might want to check out. Just kidding. Where are my manners? My name is Favour. On this channel, what I do is that I talk about life, faith, relationship, good living, and all of that good stuff. So today we're going to be talking about health. And so before we jump right into the video, if you know you have not subscribed, please go down below. What's down below? Go below and hit the subscribe button. God bless you. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. On today's video, I'm talking about why a lot of ladies still have this body odor, this bad body odor, right? Even after using the old deodorants, perfumes, and all of that. Now, this video is born out of a place of passion, compassion, and just a desire to see that ladies do better when it comes to personal hygiene. So, for a while, sometimes it's very embarrassing, to say the least, and very sad when you go to a beautiful lady, you're talking to a beautiful lady, or rather you see a beautiful lady from afar, and then you begin to admire her and say, oh, this lady is looking so nice, I would love to have a conversation with her, I would love to see what she's all about. And then you go close to this lady, and before you guys begin to kick off the conversation or start to talk about things, you notice that she's oozing. I mean oozing means that she is what's the word now? The odor coming out from her, she is not really palatable, it's not pleasurable, it's not appealing at all. Sometimes it has a way of turning you off, it has a way of just killing the vibe and killing the conversation. I've met beautiful people that when I started talking to them, it just felt like I shouldn't have started conversation at all. Either they have mouth odor or body odor, and it's not as though they are not using perfumes or deodorant and all of that. You just know how to track this offensive odor coming out of them. So like I said earlier, this video is just born out of desire and compassion for ladies that we can do better. Alright, so I'll be giving us some tips that I've learned over the years, and I've also learned in a few days before this video, just to help us out, because I believe, like I said in my last video, I believe that we don't just learn lessons from books, but we learn from experiences. Alright, so first tip on keeping clean. I see that a lot of people buy different designer perfumes, buy different deodorants, buy a lot of expensive things, and they still exude offensive odors. Now the reason is that, number one, they use deodorant on their privates that are not shaved. I'll explain. For example, a lady wants to use a roll-on, and then she's using a roll-on in her armpits that is not shaved. It means that even when she uses it, her glands will still excrete sweat. So now you're not perceiving the aroma or the scent of the deodorant in her body, you're perceiving both the sweat and the deodorant. It gives it a funny smell, because it's a funny mixture. So basically, all of these things are nice, all of these things are okay, but you also need to understand the place for personal hygiene, and that's what this video is about. Disclaimer: this is not to put anybody down, this is not to make you feel bad, this is so that we can begin to work on ourselves. Even myself talking to you, it's still a step-to-step kind of thing, it's a day-to-day kind of thing for me. I'm still learning, still progressing. So first and foremost is that you must make sure you are cleanly shaved. Your armpit, your underarms, your beneath you as a lady, you understand what I'm trying to say? You must be cleanly shaved, so that when you apply this deodorant and the perfumes that you use, it's going to give the desired odor. It's going to give everything it should give. But imagine you are not cleanly shaved and you are applying these things. There's going to be a mixture of both the sweat and the perfume you're using, and it's going to give it a very funny smell, which is not very acceptable. So imagine we cannot begin to emphasize on the need to be very hygienic or the need to smell good. As a lady, your body expression, the way you are, the way you look should be appealing, not the other way around, because you can be very beautiful on the outside. See, a lot of people use makeup, use a lot of things, but when you get close to them, you're like, I feel you can do better. So this is the reason for this video. So number one tip is that you must be cleanly shaved. Your underarms, everywhere in your private area, you must be cleanly shaved, so that when you apply these deodorants and these perfumes, you can smell nice, right? Secondly, I feel like another reason why people see emit offensive odor is not because they are not taking their bath. They are not taking their bath. It's because they are not taking their bath properly. They are not cleaning themselves properly. So you see somebody take a bath, see somebody brush their teeth, because they say have mouth odor, they say have body odor, and it's not as though they are not taking their bath twice a day. Some people won't take their bath 3 times a day. I'm here to tell you the reason why you're still emitting those odors even when you are keeping religiously to your bathing schedule. It's because you are probably not cleaning well in those areas. So for example, a lady has a lot of open spots in her body, and when you have open spots in your body, it gives the greater probability that you begin to emit odors from that spot. Your underarms, your V area. When I mean your V area, you know what I'm talking about. You begin to emit odors from there. So when you are taking your bath, you need to be specific on how you take your bath. When you are taking a good shower, you need to be specific on how you're taking a shower. It's not just about entering the bathroom, washing your face, washing your hands, and you're out of there. No. As a lady, you need to begin to take specific and deliberate moves when you are taking your bath. For example, when you want to wash, most of you don't know how to wash your underarms properly. You don't just want to and you are leaving there. No. You take deliberate step in washing it properly. Make sure that you are first of all cleanly shaved, so when you are washing, you wash properly, you scrub properly, right? Even your under, your V area, some people do not know how to wash properly. So another thing I'll be mentioning, third step, is that aside cleaning properly, you should also know what to use to clean. Now, one reason why your V area will emit some offensive odor, naturally, everybody has a natural odor, right? But then, and that area already has its natural odor. But one reason why it smells offensive or people begin to have infection is because they are using aromatic soap, and I'm going to explain. Now, your V area is a very acidic area, right? It has acidity of about 3.5 to 4.5, and your basic soap that you use has about 9 to 10. So it means that it's going to mess up the pH of that area. So medically, it's not good that you use soap to wash your V area. Warm water is enough for you to wash. So instead of using all of the aromatic soap, using it to wash, basically avoid soaps that are perfumed, that have this aromatic odor, soaps that have this nice smell. Avoid soaps like that. They are aromatic, they are not good for the V area because they tend to affect the pH of that area. But if you cannot but do without soap, I would advise that you use mild soap that do not have this perfume smell and all of that. But basically, and what I would recommend is that you just use water to wash properly, and it's not something you just wash and just leave. It's something you do deliberately and carefully, understanding that your body is very, very fragile and very tender. So do not just enter the bath and in 3 minutes you are done. Sister, what did you go to do? So take deliberate steps in washing properly. Avoid the use of soap by all means. Avoid the use of soap by all means. Okay. Fourth tip I'll be giving is that avoid wet underwears. Now I'll explain. So some of you, or some of us, or everybody watching this, when probably the weather, we might not be very vast on the weather on that day, or know what is going to happen on that day, even with the weather forecast and all of that. We cannot be so sure, and so it rains on a particular day and you get wet. I advise that you do not put on your wet underwear for so long. So as a lady, I advise you to always be prepared. I'm not saying take a bunch of underwear everywhere you are going to, but at least have one spare one inside your bag. Okay, so in case you get wet, probably you go for a swim and you're swimming. After that, please do not keep it on for too long. It is not good. This is what causes offensive odors, right? So imagine you are wet and you still wear that wet underwear for about 5 more hours, 6 more hours. Oh my, it's icky. Please don't do that. Don't wear wet underwear for so long. So make sure you always have a spare. I always believe in this thing of being prepared. You never know what might need you. So always have an extra pad in your bag. This is just by the way. Always have an extra pad. Always have the medications. For some of you that have cramps during your menstrual cycle, always have your medications. Have an extra pair of underwear. Have an extra pair of a lot of things. Do you understand? So yes, do not keep on wet underwear for so long. That's the fourth tip. I think the fifth tip is that whenever you use the restroom or the ladies or the convenience, however you want to put it, whenever you use the toilet as a lady, not just when you, let's say, defecate, when you urinate, make sure you are always washing. So it's not just when you defecate that you use water or use your tissue or whatever to clean. No, you must understand that when you also urinate, make sure you wipe off well. If you're not using water, use a tissue paper, and if you cannot get access to a tissue paper, make sure that you are with a wipe. You don't have to use, because there are some wipes that might cause irritation to your skin. So make sure you are using a very tender one. I would advise you to use the baby kind of wipes, the one they use for the newborn babies. Use those wipes. So make sure that after you use the toilet, the convenience, the restroom, whatever, make sure that you clean up. Don't just wait, let's go. Don't do that, please. Don't do that. So whenever you visit the ladies, the convenience, the restaurant, make sure that you wipe off. It helps to keep that place neat. It helps to keep that place odorless. Okay, because when ladies, we have so, like I said earlier, we have so many open spots, and then all of these areas, if they are not properly kept, will begin to emit offensive odors. Also, is there about 6 tips now? I'd say use cotton kind of underwear. Use cotton kind of underwear. I wish I had a sample here, but I don't. But you can browse it out. Some of you already have the knowledge, but if you don't know what it means, you can just Google it out. Google kind of underwear. So these are more tender and more acceptable for your V area. When you put it on, you are more comfortable, and then it's lighter, so that you don't sweat so much. But when you wear a thick underwear, when you begin to sweat, and when you begin to have all of those sweat and everything that happens underneath that place, there is no free passage of air, and you must understand that area breathes. I was talking to a few ladies the other day. I said that part of your body, your V area, needs air to survive. So do not always keep it cramped in. Some of you wear your underwear, you wear your tie, you almost wear like 5 clothing under, and I'm like, what's happening? Where is the space for this to breathe? Okay, it's not done. So you see, when you wake up in the morning, what do? You open your windows, open your curtains. Why are you doing that? To allow air enter, and making sure that the bad air inside the room is going outside for proper ventilation. Allow that place breathe. Okay, do not keep it cramped in. So I know you love to wear a lot of things under, but for people like that, make sure you get cotton underwear. Cotton underwear is something that is light. Even when you are sweating underneath, it allows the free flow of air. Make sure that there's proper ventilation down there. All right. Yes, there's something also I want to address. I think I said it in the beginning, being cleanly shaved. Now, I don't want to go into that argument. I know a lot of people have had that. Oh, I love keeping hair. I don't love keeping hair. I love this. Whatever you love doing, make sure there's moderation in it. So if you are somebody that loves keeping hair, make sure that you wash. So I said earlier that when you're washing your V area, you don't use soap, right? But when you know you have hair, water will not suffice for that. So this is how you do it. You make sure, as I said, you have to take proper and tender care of your V area. So the only part you're allowed to use the soap is where you have the hair, where you have the hair. That's where you use the soap. And when you wash that part, make sure that it doesn't get into your V area, so it doesn't mess up with the pH of that area. I would love to talk about how personal hygiene plays in not getting infection and all of that, but I feel like that's going to be in another video. I'm talking about infections and all of that. One popular infection with ladies is the yeast infection, where some of the symptoms are itching, itching violently. You begin to discharge, white, they have white discharge and all of that. That's going to be in another video. But one of the things that causes that is when aromatic soap or soap that have perfumed odor, strong soaps like that, you use it to wash your V area, because it messes up with your pH. That's why some of you have infections, not necessarily because of the kind of toilet you use, though it matters a lot where you do your thing, but you must understand that it starts with you. Okay, I like I said earlier, this video is born out of compassion. I would love our ladies to do better when it comes to personal hygiene. Just to reiterate everything I've said from the very beginning, make sure you are cleanly shaved. Make sure you use. Okay, there's also something that I want to put in before please summarize this video. When you're on your flow, okay, have separate on-days for separate seasons of your life. I feel that is going to help. So when you know your monthly visit or your menstrual cycle, whenever you have that, know the kind of underwears you use at that point in time. Don't use the same don't be a one underwear for all seasons. No, it's not really advisable, because in that area of your life, in that time and that season of your life, what's happening is that there is some things happening in your system which causes you to lose blood, okay? And if you're using the same underwear, I know you use your pad and your pant liner for your undies, but then you cannot completely say they are completely free from germs. So it's advisable that you have separate underwear for separate seasons in your life, okay? When you're ovulating, when you're on your menstrual cycle, make sure you are always keeping it clean. Do not repeat underwear. I repeat, please do not repeat underwear, okay? So don't wear one pant for 2 days, sister. Why would you do that? Please, if you have been doing it, this is a wake-up call for you. Stop it. It's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. Please, you can, instead of putting on one underwear for 2 days, don't put on anything at all. I said it earlier. Allow that area to breathe, right? I'm not saying start going about without no underwear. Don't quote me wrong, okay? I'm saying do not repeat the same underwear for 2 days. Sometimes you even need to change. You don't need to wear one underwear from morning till night. You can change it. You can change it twice. It just helps that area better. So just to reiterate everything I've said, please be cleanly shaved. All of these deodorants are fine. It's just like icing on the cake. Imagine that you are bathing properly, you are cleanly shaved, obeying all of the principles, and now using the perfumes and deodorants. It's going to be wonderful. So sisters, from me to you, this is just for us to do better, to smell better. I think I'm going to show the part 2 of this video because there's still a whole lot to talk about, but I hope you have enjoyed this video and it's been of some help to you. Please help me, let me know what you feel about this video by giving this video a thumbs up, If you have not subscribed, please go below and press the subscribe button. Also share to your friends. You don't know who might be needing this right now. God bless you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.